What is up guys, the Human Carjack here, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and installation video. Now we're not going to be doing the installation today because as you can see it's 14 degrees today, so can't do much of anything outside. But here we have our package. We're going to go ahead and unbox it and I'll show you guys what's inside. Judging by the title of the video, you guys probably already know what's inside here, but I'm going to go ahead and do a little reveal. Oh, we got another box inside this box. Alright, let's go ahead and open that too. So from what I read, this is a pretty thick core. I don't remember the exact measurements and how much bigger it is over stock, but I know that it's pretty significant. I think it's about like a 2 or 3 inch difference or something, but yeah, this thing's kind of heavy too, but look at how wide it is. Jesus. So we got the intercooler out of the box. We're going to leave the bubble wrap on it for now. We're going to take that off in a second. And I really like the way it was packaged. It was really well concealed and everything, with the bubble wrap and the styrofoam and everything. So this is actually by a website called Mnotech. They have really good pricing on WRX parts and some other performance parts. So kudos to them. I'll leave a link in the description. And here we have the packaging list, so everything that came along with it. So we have the actual intercooler itself, turbo outlet to top-mount intercooler, inlet, silicone hose, and basically everything else that's included. So I'm not going to go over that. You guys can go ahead and pause the video if you want to read it, but pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take off the bubble wrap. Alright, so here it is. We still have some styrofoam bits in here. We're going to take those off. But we also have these covers over here just to make sure that I guess any crap doesn't get in there during packaging, so it looks pretty cool. One thing that I'm noticing, we have a little hardware kit over here. It's got a bolt and a washer and this other kind of, I guess, washer looking thing. And according to the packing list, it says that there's four of these threaded bolts, but there's only one in here, so I'm a little confused on that. But maybe I'm just reading the wrong part. Maybe it's this one instead because there's one. But I'm gonna keep looking through the box and everything and see if I find anything. All the fins actually look pretty good too, so they didn't get damaged during shipping. But for some of these little styrofoam bits that are a little bit more jammed in there, we're gonna use a toothpick and we're gonna pry them out. Got all the fins cleaned up. One thing that I'm noticing is that the welds over here on the sides look really, really good. It has a really, really solid construction. I think it's made of aluminum, pretty heavy too, but it's looking good. I'm liking the look of it a lot. So from what I've gathered after reading this stuff, normally it comes with all this other accessory stuff. If you get like, I don't know, I guess like a full package. But I guess because I got just the intercooler itself, and it's like the direct bolt-on for the Forester and the WRX, it should be okay. So I don't think we'll run into any issues during the installation with any missing parts, so we should be good to go. Today is finally installation day of our intercooler, and you guys haven't actually seen this yet. Let me show you from the side. So we actually just got some BC Racing coilovers. So you see in the back how much room is left over here. And in the front, right over there, so about a 2 to 3 finger gap on each side. We also have our charge pipe over here, but we're not going to install it yet because most likely we're going to need a Pro Tune for this, and I'm not in the market to get a Pro Tune quite yet, or again like a retune. So this we're going to save for a later time. When we go get the Perrin air oil separator installed, we're going to have them install this as well, and we're going to get a retuned. Let's open up the hood real quick and see what we're working with. Alright, so first things first, it has to come off, obviously the plastic cover. So we have our 2 little pop clips over here, one here, one there, and then this, once you pull it off, it'll just snap right off. Alright, so we have a couple of 12mm bolts to take off. We got one over here on this bracket, 2 over here, 1 12 right over there, and then we could kind of just get a flathead right in here in these worm gear clamps. There's one here and one on this side as well that we just have to unscrew, and then we can remove the whole the whole stock intercooler. I was kind of holding off on this installation for a while because I really wanted to do some data logging for the stock intercooler, but it's been really cold lately. Like just like, I don't know, the other day, actually yesterday, it was around like 15 degrees. This whole week has been really cold and sometimes in the single digits. So I wasn't able to do this installation, and I wasn't able to get an accurate readout on the intake manifold temperatures on the access port. So during like normal weather conditions, like normal temperatures, I would have done some data logging on the stock intercooler, seen what the temperatures were like, and then test out the TurboXS aftermarket intercooler in similar conditions so that we could see the difference in temperatures. That would have been a really cool experiment, but you know what, since I have time today to do it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So this will be more of an installation video and not as much, I guess, like research based. But I hope that in the summertime we could kind of test that out, see if everything, or just kind of monitor the temperatures and see how well it performs. Alright, that was a pain in the ass to take off. So one thing that I was noticing, we do have, hope you guys could see that, we do have a bunch of oil actually on the inside of here and like around like the ring. So that's not good. So I don't know if like swapping out the intercooler will help fix that. I know that the charge pipe might. But yeah, so let's do a quick comparison of the stock intercooler with the TurboXS one. Alright, so here we have our side-by-side comparison. You can see how dirty the stock one is compared to the TurboXS one, obviously, because it's brand new. So let's turn them on their sides now, and let's compare the thickness of the core. So with the stock one, we have about a, let's say, 2.5 inch core, and then with the TurboXS one, let's see, it's about a 4 inch core. So pretty significant difference. 1.5 inches is pretty damn good. There's our Torque Solutions pitch top mount. I actually never made a video about this. I was going to, but I don't remember why I didn't. I put this on a long time ago, so that thing looks ancient right now. And also another part right over here. This is also the Torque Solutions master cylinder brace. Yeah, I never made a video about this either, but yep, there it is. It doesn't really make much of a difference as far as feel, but it is what it is. It was really cheap mod, so you know, why not? So let's get the intercooler into the engine bay. Actually, before we move on to the engine bay, we do have to remove these two rubber couplers or bushings and put them on the TurboXS intercooler. And also, the TurboXS intercooler came with this like spacer, a crush washer, and a bolt. So we have to figure out where these go, or more so where the spacer goes. I have to figure that out, and then we can move on to the engine bay. So we got our bushings in both holes. It wasn't too hard. One thing to note though, the stock intercooler in comparison to the aftermarket one, the stock one is way lighter. Like this TurboXS one is pretty damn heavy. Like if I had to guess, this is about, let's get a feel for it. I don't know, maybe like 30 pounds, somewhere there, 25 to 30 pounds. While the stock one feels like it's, I don't know, like maybe half as much. So maybe about 15 pounds heavier. My biggest concern is clearance, so let's see how well it clears the Forester's engine bay. So one thing I heard is that this thing is kind of a bitch to get in, and especially with the front strut tower bar, it might make it a little bit more difficult. So let's see what we're working with here. Alright, so we finally put everything in. That took forever. The hardest part was just seating everything and getting everything to fit, really. It was a pretty tight squeeze. The thing was, it wasn't that it didn't fit. Like, we have clearance in the back of the intercooler, but the biggest issue was getting everything around like the charge pipe. The charge pipe was the hardest part. This side, the driver's side, wasn't as bad. Like getting it, or where are we? Getting that coupler on. So that wasn't too bad. But this one was freaking impossible. And I don't know if it's maybe because like it's still kind of cold outside, and these are still very, I guess like hard because of that. but other times when I've taken off the intercooler and tried to put it back on, it was no problem. Like, I had no issues. This took forever. But nonetheless, I just turned the car on. I gave it a couple of revs to see if we have any boost leaks or anything like that. Everything seems to be pretty good. So yeah, so not too bad, but it could have been a lot easier. Can't really give you guys my impressions of this yet because I haven't really drove it around. Honestly, it's not like a big performance model where I'm going to see like a big difference. The only big difference we're going to see is in the intake manifold temperatures. So that's something that we'll see more towards like the summertime. If the temperature is pretty good, like if it's running well, hopefully it does reduce a little bit of the knock. I mean, I don't have like any crazy knock. It is stage 2, but everything's been running very well. So yeah, so hopefully that could just help with bringing the temperatures down a little bit. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to check out my Instagram as well, where I post pictures of this on my story and just everything else, just to follow the build. And I hope you guys stay tuned. All right, take care now. Peace.